Well, hello.
Morning.
Here we are on the whatever
Whatever time it is you're listening to this.
the H grade, whatever the hell this is, podcast. Today we are joined by our friend Zoe.
Hi, everybody. I'm Zoe.
Zoe is an intern here for us from the local high school, which is so cool because when I went to that high school, we had Jack. They did not. We did. There was not.
Who's Jack?
No, Jack Crap. We're in the presence of minors, so I won't swear. So yeah, we didn't have opportunities like that. So this is really cool that you guys. So it's like an entrepreneurship class.
Yes.
And but before we even get into that, if you're listening for the first time, I'm Travis.
I'm Alex.
And we own H Gray Supply Co. / H Gray Social in Central New York. And it's a little bit of everything, a boutique department store with multiple categories to shop from, with unique products from small batch makers and independent brands from all over the U.S. and beyond. And we thought we'd do this podcast as like what it's like to run a small business. When we were going into this, there wasn't a lot of information that felt consumable in a way that, like, I'm just a Joe Blow that's, like, sort of thinking about starting a business.
Well, especially in the retail game. I think we came across a lot of videos and stuff, social media, of restaurants or food businesses or other kinds of businesses, but not retail.
Right, so here we are. Now, Zoe, as part of her project, is producing today's podcast. And so she has compiled questions from our social media, from you guys, from around, to ask us about running a small business and ask us about products that we have here. So before we get into those questions, Zoe, you're a junior.
I'm a senior.
Okay.
So this is it.
Yes.
This is it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is the end
final
of the show, yes.
And you were a real go-getter because when I asked what you're doing this summer, you're working, you're going to Italy, you're getting ready for Penn State.
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing, if you guys have been with H Grade from the beginning, our good pal Nina, who worked with us at the beginning here.
Who opened us.
Yeah,
basically.
she opened the store with us, also goes to Penn State. And she's also very smart.
Yes.
And there's nothing more that I love than a smart woman. Good for you,
Of
girl.
Of course you know each other.
Yeah, of course you guys know each other.
I love Nina. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is. Okay, so with that being said, tell our audience a little about you. So junior.
Senior,
that's what I mean, sorry.
Yes.
Senior. I just don't want you to go.
Yes. I'd love to stay. But, so I've lived in Casanova my whole life. My one sister, Lauren, lives with me along with my mom. And we've kind of just...
Is Lauren older or younger?
Younger. She's a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've grown up here and I've lived in Cas my whole life, so I know how it works, I know how the people are, and I love it. Aside from, like, being here and being at school, I have a job at the Casanova Tennis Club where I manage the kids' camp there, and then I also work for the dinners, and I just...
You guys, I tried to poach her from there right before we started. I was like, so, this summer, want a barista?
Yeah, so anyway. Maybe I'll be barista here. Who knows? I'll look into that. That'll be fun.
You have too much going on, girl. Italy? Come on.
I know. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
So then... Junior year, I was approached by Miss New because she was talking about work-based learning here at the high school, and she was basically just like, hey, Zoe, like, I see how motivated you are and ambitious you are to, like, success in your future, so I think, like, getting a head start on what you can do and finding, like, the right career path for you is amazing, and this is an opportunity we have, so...
I love it.
Yeah.
So you interned someplace before us, yes?
Yes, so I was an intern at, Upstate Orthopedics Clinic with Dr. Canizero.
Okay, that's awesome.
So first half of the year I did medicine, and then the second half of the year I'm doing business, just to try to see what path I want to take in college.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Did Mrs. New create this program at the school? Is that why it wasn't around when you were there?
I get the impression she did, yeah.
Yes,
great.
so they realized that high school students, like, a majority of them don't really know what they want to do, and so...
And then you got to sign on to spend $250,000 for an education in that thing without
it's
knowing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So this is kind of just giving that head start to students who are trying to find what they want to do and like how quick they want to get into things in their futures.
Yeah.
I think it's great because we have found even as adults, you don't know what you want to do 5 years after you started doing what you thought you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So this is a nice way for you to dip your toe into
Yeah.
a few different things.
Yes.
I think what you want to do changes.
Yes, that's something else I would tell you as a young person, know that like at 30, you're not the same person you were at 27.
Right.
And things change and you evolve. And, you know, we just started this a couple years ago, but it was never on our radar to own a business or a retail store like this. So.
And do you think if 10 years ago someone's like, hey,
No, I would have been offended. I was like, that's not my career path. How dare you? In fact, the first person, I've told the story 100 times, so if you want to hear it, go back and listen to episode 1. But the first person to suggest, because we had 3 people suggest in a very short amount of time, that we open a store, I was actually like, screw you, I'm a performer. I come from New York City. I had a full performance career for 15 years. Like, how dare you? You know, so, and then I heard the universe because 3 people in a row said it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should think about that.
And we were also kind of like
transitioning
out of New York City. We kind of were like, I want something smaller, and we thought it would be a smaller city.
Yeah, this is, if you know Casanova. How many kids are in your class?
We have about like 110.
Mm-hmm. We had like 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's small here, guys. Okay, so why don't we get into your questions you have for us?
Yeah.
And you can ask them, and you're so thorough and prepared. And also, I realized I gave Zoe a notebook when we started as like a work notebook or whatever, and you write everything out, which I love. But also, you're more than welcome to like type it and send if it's easier.
Yeah. So we have everything on paper today, which is not a problem. We can just
At least it's not a stone palette and a, hammer and a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think first up we can talk about some of the products that we have here. Just get to know just inside the world of like some of your products. So we could talk about the Casanova Lake Blend.
Oh yeah.
And we can get into that.
Well,
I think I want to preface with, I feel like when I think about our store, or when certain people of a certain age, meaning older, will come in and they'll be like, "What is this?" They're
the store. What's
they're
the store?
flabbergasted, and they want to categorize it as one thing. And we didn't set out to defy category, but I think we just wanted to have a little bit of anything and everything that maybe wasn't available to the community, and things that we wanted to play with and enjoy and see how the community would respond to. And in essence, that playing around has turned into us being kind of like a, kind of like a blank canvas where anything is possible with multiple categories.
Yeah.
And so I love that, and I think it will always change. And the Cas Lake Blend is part of that playing, because we knew we wanted coffee. We knew other businesses in town carried every local roaster in their store. So we thought, okay, well, Utica had been on my mind, and I looked it up, and I'm like, it's 20 years old. It's been
Utica
around.
Coffee.
Utica Coffee. It's been around. It's unique to me, coming from New York City, knowing roasters there, because it had flavored coffee. I was a little on the fence about it because I think coffee snobs do not like flavored coffee. But when we tasted it, we're like, oh, this is actually really good flavored coffee. And they just had a cool vibe. We reached out to them the first day we stepped foot in here, and they drove out.
That's right.
With samples like an hour later.
Yeah.
And from Utica, which is, I don't know, an hour away. And the relationship with them has been great, and we developed Cas Lake Blend with them as a collaboration.
So Cas Lake Blend is our signature coffee here at the store. We serve it on drip at our barista bar, and we also sell bags of whole bean and ground. And when we were doing this, we're like, we need our own age grade coffee. Like, what is it going to be? And Utica, I had known from before, and they have a coffee called Jamaican Me Crazy. And it's like coconutty. It's so good, and it's the only coffee I could drink black. I mean, I don't, but I could drink it black. Yeah. So when we were taste testing flavors and notes and different blends to create the Cas Lake Blend, that was my requirement. I'm like, I need to be able to drink this on its own if I had to. I want it to be that good, that flavorful of a roast, of a blend that I don't need to put anything in it if I don't want to.
And I wanted it to be kind of like a get up and go morning perfect. I wanted that Folgers feel without the Folgers chemicals.
That's right. And so it has citrusy notes, and we are celebrating 2 years of Cas Lake Blend.
Yeah.
So we've redone the packaging. I mean, really, it's just the bag is the label on the bag is different.
The sticker art, basically.
Yes. And so we redid that, and we've hung posters up all over, and we're selling a lot of it. And I just think it's cool to have that. It's so
I also
cool.
kind of think it's cool that part of me is like, who do we think we are? It's only been 2 years and we're already changing things up. But I want it to be that way all the time. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm. I think you had mentioned, Alex, when you were talking about the store a minute ago that I just lost my train of thought.
Well,
About being in a small town, not knowing the area. We had said to ourselves that like we can't just be one thing. Our town is so small here that it wouldn't survive. I think being just a one type, like if we carried just skincare, just makeup, I don't think it would have the success that we're having. That we have a little bit of everything in one spot for multiple different people, the different customer types, and that sort of influenced what we carried from the beginning and who our customer is. And so I think we sort of were kind of just open. We weren't like set on one thing, which is another thing we tell people that are looking to like get into business is like be super flexible, be open to the cues from the universe of like, think about going this way, think about going that way, try this, try that.
There's always something new. And my perspective of someone who did not live here, but Travis and I have been together 13 years, and so I would come visit a lot. And there are shops in town. And I'd be excited, oh, cute, little shops in town, let me go look. And I'd go look. And then the next time I came, 8 months later, the same holiday candles out in June. So I thought nothing changed. It made me not want to shop. So even knowing that we get so many summer people, so many people from out of town here, keeping it engaging for them as well.
Totally. So that's kind of like what?
Yes. I think just changing up and like switching how things are keeps people on their feet and keeps them wanting to come back in here.
Yeah.
Any time of the year. It's great. It's amazing. Okay. So the next question is, are there any other signature blends that you have here in H. Gray?
So after doing the Kaz Lake blend, we did the Christmas and Kaz blend. So the Kaz Lake blend has citrusy notes. It's a medium roast. It's a perfect like morning blend, I would say.
It's kind of tannic. Can I talk about
Those
tannic?
are words I don't understand, but you go ahead. I'm just like, it tastes good.
So tannic means kind of like in wine. Sometimes wine have lots of tannins in them, and what it means is it kind of clears off your palate. So the flavor of that coffee doesn't linger on your tongue for the rest of the day. You sip it, and it kind of goes away as you keep eating and having.
I'm learning something new here.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
This is great.
So, for instance, the Christmas and Kaz blend is not tannic, so it does linger. It's very dark. It's got notes of chocolate and kind of like a caramelized sugar. It reminds me of the flavor of the top of a creme brulee when you
but not super. It's not a flavored coffee. It's a blend. And something else I love about it is that people ask for it all year. And that's kind of a fun thing to have, is like something that's like, this is it. It comes out November through early January. That's it.
Maybe we could do a Christmas in July week.
Oh, that might be a fun idea.
For just 1 week, we can get it.
That's fun. Okay, cool. I like that idea.
I'll ask you to go.
Then we did the unicorn blend, which is a flavored coffee. It's sort of like a vanilla pastry sort of vibe. And that is for Cazenovia Pride. So we also organize the Kaz Pride Fest, which we're having our third festival this summer. And the sales from the unicorn blend go to Kaz Pride. So
we have three.
We have 3 signature blends. Yeah.
Yes. Do you think that there's any more to come in the future?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I don't know. I yes, but also I don't want to I don't want to go overboard with it.
No, but I'm sure we'll have other opportunities. Like the unicorn blend we don't have in the store every day of the year, right? Sometimes we run out of it and we're like, that's okay, let's just be out of it for a little bit. But I'm sure there'll be other opportunities that come up where we're like, oh, this is a great thing that we're part of or that we're doing, and let's do another coffee for this. I don't think it's something we're going to like saturate the store with, but I'm sure there'll be other opportunities.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so let's step away from coffee because we've been on that for...
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. So you have other brands throughout the store, like the makeup, the beauty, and then you have the kitchen sink creations. So let's talk about kitchen sink creations. Give Romy a little Shout out, maybe.
My heart, as we
Well,
talk
maybe
about
our next
this,
podcast is with them.
it should be.
Ooh,
So,
good idea.
my heart, because Romy and Siobhan, who are partners, who came to us being like, we're baristas, but we just lost our jobs and we're looking for something, and we hear you guys are opening a coffee bar, that you're expanding, and we were like, yes, great, awesome, perfect. Because at that point, I don't think we'd hired anybody.
No, and we weren't, and we were still waiting to open, and we were, I don't know, you're in a limbo when you're trying to open
Yeah.
a place, so you don't know when it's going to actually happen.
So something that I love about what we do here is that I really consider all of our team members family. And so with that, I want to make sure that we're always supporting our team members' outside endeavors. So even in interviews, we interviewed a few people the other day, and we asked them, like, what are your outside endeavors? And, like, how can we assist you in that? How can we support you in that if you're part of our team? So Romy and Siobhan make their own jewelry, and Romy, like, crochets, and she makes these amazing, I call it a shrug. Do the kids call it a shrug still?
That's what I've seen it being called,
Okay.
we'll go with shrug, yeah.
And it's like this crocheted shrug that's so cool. They fly out the door. And so we had said to them when we found out they do this, like, why don't you do a pop-up? Mm-hmm. So they came here and they did a pop-up, and then we were like, don't pack it away. Like, let's just leave it in the store and we'll continue to sell it. So that's been fun to have with them.
Well, and we're excited because, in a way, they have other interests outside of the jewelry.
Oh, did I say why I was sad in my heart?
No, you didn't.
Because they're moving.
They're moving, which is great because they're expanding their horizons.
Yes.
But I think that they have this in their back pocket to do, and this lends itself so to what we were talking about before, is that there's more than one thing. You know, they both want to be actors, and they can be actors, but they can also be jewelry makers, and all of it can happen at once or whenever it's supposed to. So I hope that they continue. I will be checking in and texting.
I know, like proud
while
parents.
They're gone. Well, did you do this? Why is this? Why is your website not changed?
Don't forget this. Don't forget that. Yeah. Have you met this person or that person? Go find them. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So that's Kitchen Sink Creations.
I really think they could go. I don't know if there's like an outlet for festivals, but
I'm sure.
Especially what Romy makes is so festival wear.
Yeah.
She actually makes they're almost like a necklace, crocheted necklace, lipstick holder or chapstick holder.
Or lighter holder or
lighter
paraphernalia holder, I think. And they're in the shape of a mushroom.
But it's perfect for
cute.
like Burning Man.
Totally perfect for Burning Man. They should go to Burning Man and sell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just talked about kitchen sink. So we know that, like, moving on to like dairy products and stuff, we know that you have Jenny's ice cream here, and you also have Murray's cheese. So you have these great, wonderful creations from great brands. So tell us something about.
Why don't you start with Murray's cheeses, Al?
Okay, and I'll let you talk, Jenny.
Okay.
So Murray's cheese to me is kind of like even a role model for me. In the beginning of us wanting to do this, I wanted cheese, or even we had a concept of like maybe there'll be an 8th grade cheese shop one day. But Murray's is kind of like what we are in a way. They are a cheese department store that carries cheeses from all over the world, and makes their own cheeses and collabs with other farms to make
their own
hybrid cheeses. So I feel like they're so one of a kind. They have so many amazing selections. They always have seasonal cheeses and new creations of their own. So they're always inspiring for me. So for me, I thought, I can't have a cheese shop. I don't have time to train cheesemongers or to have real cheese. That's what it's called when you're a cheese expert, a cheesemonger. Not a fun word to say. But
I think I had cheesemonger once, but thank God there's a cream for that.
But it's a training to kind of know how to cut every different kind. There's different tools. It's a whole shmee. Plus knowing about what kind of cow, if it's cow, sheep, or goat milk. But I thought, wouldn't it be nice because of the environment we're in here, where everything's kind of like grab and go and easy peasy? I thought, what if we just had a cheese fridge of already selected cuts of cheese that you could just grab and go and throw on a charcuterie board, go to the lake, set up at your house for family coming, whatever it is. And so that's what we did. We basically have a fridge just for cheese. We usually have anywhere from 20 to 25 cheeses.
And I'll say that, like, who doesn't love cheese, right? Everyone loves cheese. But for me, it wasn't until we got Murray's cheeses that I was like, oh, this is cheese. And
Right.
like, and I'm learning more and more about cheese. Al's kind of a foodie, so I think you had a little bit of a background that I don't have, and so, or an understanding. And so I've started to learn about what an art it is to like make a cheese and all that goes into it. And credit to Al, because you do cut the cheese here, no pun intended. And so we get big blocks of cheese, and then you literally are cutting them fresh. They're overnighted to us. We also get, from New York, Carnegie Deli babka, momofuku noodles and soy sauces and seasonings.
And that, I think, comes from us being New Yorkers for
Yes.
so long that we kind of missed the varieties of foods that there are that we don't necessarily have here.
Well, and I think the other thing that's super cool about the brands from New York that we carry are that, and then I'll get on Jenny's real quick, is that I moved to New York City in the early 2000s. And so I saw Momofuku come up, right? I know about, I mean, Murray's cheese is legendary, but I know about Murray's cheeses. It's
you knew
everyone-
it existed, even
right.
if you hadn't been there.
Yes. And so it's really exciting for us to bring in these brands we've been following for a long time. Even Jenny's. Like, you did your own ice cream thing at one point,
Yeah.
and we're catering ice cream for different events. And Jenny's was one of your role models, and she was kind of new then. And
Yeah.
so it's been really cool to see these brands grow, and we're inspired by them. And, you know, it's just been such a cool thing to be able to bring them here, especially like, oh, we're leaving our home of 15 years, New York City, and moving away, and it's almost like having a little piece of that here with us. So that's really cool. Jenny's ice cream, if you've never had, I'm telling you right now, stop what you're doing, come here, grab a pint. Now, they are premium luxury ice creams. There is a price tag on them, but it's literally like farm-to-table ingredients, these nostalgic flavors that you're kind of like, what? That's what?
I quit making ice cream because I was honest with myself. It was never going to taste as good as Jenny's. Jenny's is literally the best.
Literally the best. And and something else I love about the brands that we carry, and this is another one for Jenny's, is that because they're small businesses, sometimes we talk to the creator. We talk to the person that's literally making the product. In Jenny's case, they've reached out to us on social media before from our posts, and not just like a like or a comment. We recently started the Ice Cream of the Month Club. So you can come in and sign up for 6 months or 12 months, and you will get like a specialty ice cream flavor.
A limited edition.
Right. So Jenny's reached out to us and said, we love that you're doing this. We have special flavors that we don't normally wholesale, and we'd like to give them to you for the Ice Cream of the Month Club.
Oh wow, that's very nice.
So
Yeah.
cool. We're really excited because the next one we're getting is the Ted Lasso flavor that they have coming out.
Yeah, it's a if you watch Ted Lasso, there what are those kind of cookies? Shortbread.
Yeah, shortbread.
So shortbread cookies are part of the theme in Ted Lasso, and so it's called the Boss's Biscuits or something like that.
Well, that's
and
gotta
it's
be
a
so
shortbreads
good.
and
I know.
sweet cream ice cream.
Wow.
So good. So yeah, come on in, try Jenny's. You will not be disappointed. We're also starting an ice cream flight. So you can come in and order and sit down and get 3 scoops of 3 different flavors to try.
Oh, that's so smart.
Right?
That's genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I also want to say really quickly, the fact that we have that ice cream, I think, you walk into a store, you just look at stuff. So many people just stroll around, and I always think if they only knew the hoops I had to go through to get that ice cream that no other MFer in this town or anywhere in Syracuse has.
Well, Wegmans carries Jenny's, but
But
Wegmans...
not that one. Not that one.
Wegmans
we
carries
have.
like vanilla. Like they
Yeah.
don't have like, we're getting like some specialty flavors that are pretty exciting, but Wegmans has everything. Come on.
But just know that most small businesses, when you go to them, there is curation involved. They didn't just pick something from a catalog. It takes... Even our pizza, like...
Oh yeah, we have Roberta's Pizzas from Brooklyn.
I think it's amazing that we have that pizza because I manifested it into happening. It's not something they normally do. So
Right. We're kind of the new way to curate products for your store are different shopping platforms. So there's one called Hello Abound. And you can sign up as a small business, a small retail business, and it's almost like an Amazon for small shops. So think of like Jenny's could go on Hello Abound and sign up to sell her products through this website.
Kitchen Sink Creations could go on.
Right. So that's why I feel like a lot of these small boutiques you will see a lot of the same products over and over because they're shopping from these platforms. So we've been trying to, of course, we utilize those platforms because they're very convenient, but we also try to do it the old school way, which is ring, ring, hi, I own a store, I'd like to carry your product.
Well, I don't want to carry what's the most popular on those platforms because that means every small shop in America has that.
Right.
Yes. And now it's funny, owning the store, I think we've only been able to do this one time actually, but anytime we took a day one time and went out shopping at different towns in our area to check out other stores like ours and just, say hi, because a lot of those business owners have come and introduced themselves to us. But it's funny, as we go into stores that are small stores like ours, I now see products and I'm like, that's lazy. Mm-hmm. That's lazy.
Yeah.
Everybody has that. Oh my God. So, with that being said, no one's doing anything wrong. I think it just shows how difficult it is to curate products that are different, to have unique things. Because with technology, I think a lot of things are becoming homogenized and available very easily for everyone. We've got to compete with Amazon.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes.
And Target.
And Target. That's a big one. We just had a product, and I don't remember what it was, it doesn't matter, but we had a product.
That's a small batch.
Oh, that's right. After holiday. And we're like, oh, let's try that. And so we ordered them. They came in, whatever. Then we went shopping at Target, and they were there, and they were like a third of the price. And we were like, as a small business, we can't afford to order the quantity it takes to make it that retail price. And
In fact, they're selling it for what we purchase at wholesale. So
yeah, I know just like from like my age group and like my peers that it's like really easy for like a group of 5 or 6 girls to get in their car and book it to Target and
tell them to come
Starbucks.
here.
But right, exactly.
Come
you
here.
got the coffee. It's like Starbucks all over again. So yeah.
But one good thing I will say about Target is that thank God one of another brand of ours that we just started carrying that's a small batch new company just signed a deal with Target to have it in their stores. So in a way, it sucks for us,
but it's great for them.
It's great for small batch makers that Target's actually looking for them and highlighting them, and to know that it's not just corporate stuff at Target, but small batch stuff.
Yes, that's good to know, especially from like a customer point of view, like knowing that they're branching out and embracing other small businesses instead of just like large, well-known ones.
Yes. Which is very smart of Target because I feel like the climate of shopping is changing, right? Like I don't think people are wanting to go to the mall anymore. Right. I think people are trying, like since pandemic, it seems like people are wanting to support small businesses. And embarrassing for me to say, I didn't realize until we owned this business how far a dollar goes in a store like ours. Mm-hmm. Because we shop from independent brands and small batch makers, I think about like when you buy, say the Kitchen Sink Creations, right? You buy a piece of jewelry, not only does it come to our store, but it filters through to them and their families and their goals, right? This store allows for me to be here to help support my mother who's disabled, right? So I think, one thing I think when we have a great day at the store financially, I'm like, awesome, this allows me to be here, have something with my partner, be here to support my mom. And then the social stuff that we try to do, because our core mission is diversity, inclusivity, community. And so we think about community and how are we socially impacting our small community here. And so
and also to that testament, things like, I'll see someone come in and buy a necklace from Kitchen Sink Creations that they absolutely love. Mm-hmm. And I think to myself, if Siobhan had not made that necklace, this person would not be having this little moment of joy right now.
Yeah.
And so Siobhan had to get out of her own way, get the courage to start something, play around, create something. So in a way, it's human contact with a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
It's infused with love and humanity.
Let's talk about, like, your target audience and who you try to purchase things for. Like, who are your shoppers? Yes.
This is going to sound so cliche, but everyone.
Right.
So this has been, I think, one of the most
maybe
difficult...
because we're bad at a Target shopper.
Well, I think part of it is based on where we're located. Mm-hmm. We can't be so niche that we are excluding anyone, right? So we do try to think, like with price point, for me, it's important to be conscious of the price points because I don't want anyone to, while we're not Walmart, I don't ever want someone to come in here and feel not included because they can't afford something. So we try to have multiple price points in each category. Tell me what the question is again.
Dear target audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so there's that. With clothing, you know, we got feedback our first year open of a mature audience coming in and being like, it's too young for me, it's too young. But they're not even, we noticed they weren't even really looking.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, it's colorful in here.
They're profiling.
Right, it's colorful in here. The music is fun. We have young employees. So we need to do a better job at educating or highlighting clothing that is also for a mature audience. So when we're shopping, we think to ourselves, okay, who could possibly wear this? One thing we've struggled with, actually, with this with including everybody, because inclusion is one of our mission statements, is sizing. Sizing's been difficult because I won't go into how size packs run when you order clothes, but it's like if a brand makes plus size clothing, you have to order either
a size run
from like small to large, and then a size run from like large to triple extra large.
Oh, okay.
And we don't, and sometimes when we make our own t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, we will get a few triple extra larges or double extra larges, and they don't move, they don't sell. So that's been a difficult thing for us because we do want everyone to come in here and feel welcome and feel like there's something here for them. But again, as a small business, we can't afford for stuff not to sell.
Right.
We can't afford to get two size runs of different sizes.
We basically get 6 of everything. So if we get a skirt, there's 6 of them in different sizes. So that would mean getting 12, and 6 of those would all be plus size, which we have found not to sell at all.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. And I get it because as a plus size gentleman myself who does drag and understands what it's like for a plus size lady to shop.
You don't even look.
Well, there's not a lot of options. So I know I can go to Torrid. I know I can go to, whatever the brands are. Well, not even that, but there's a lot of great online sites or even stores that don't carry plus sizes in their stores. You can get them online. So, I don't think that audience is shopping here for understandable reasons, I guess. But we're trying. We try.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't have a target audience. I don't think. I think we just try to think like who is in our area.
And I also try to think ageless, because even older, there are some older women that come in and say what you said. They're like, "Oh, this isn't for us."
Yeah.
But my mom doesn't dress like a grandma used to when I was little.
Right.
Right.
I think
it's always changing.
It's changing.
Yes.
So older people aren't necessarily, wearing muumuus with blue hair anymore.
We had a woman come in, and we love her. She's amazing. She spends part of the year in Florida. She came in, and she loved this slightly cropped sweatshirt that we had designed. And she's like, oh, I can't wear that. I got to cover my thighs. I got to cover my butt kind of thing. And I was like, okay, again, something else I know from styling myself in drag. If you wear a top that's down to your knees, you look larger. And having that slight crop creates a line at your waist, and it registers to the brain as like a waistline. It actually makes you look slimmer. So I said that to
with a shape.
Right. And so I said that to her, and I said, just try it on. You love it. Try it on. See how you feel in it. She came out, and not only did she look way slimmer, she looked about 20 years younger. And she's like, I love this. Oh, my God, I love it. This is great. And I was like, you got it, girl.
So she modeled it for us.
Yeah, so we took pictures and modeled it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
so we also have to educate our customers, too, which is...
Just try it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So let's talk about Cazenovia. So being in Cazenovia, I know that there's multiple other businesses around here that could lead to competition, right? So tell me about that. How do you deal with that? What do you do to make yourself stand out against these other competitors around the area?
So I think we think competition is good.
Right.
And I also feel a little bit like we try not to worry about what everybody else is doing. Like we're actually too busy to even really pay too much attention to what's happening outside.
But enough attention and not step on their toes
Right.
as far as trying to carry a product that they already carry. I mean, there are businesses in town that carry all kinds of things. And so if we do something similar, I want to do it our way, not just carbon copy or the same brands. I never want to carry the same brands.
Right.
And we try our best to do that. I think also
Others don't so much.
Others don't do that. Yeah. I will say this, 9 out of 10 of the businesses in our area are super supportive, are so much fun. We're able to work together to create events, to be like, our sister, I call it our sister store, but she's her own business. Lily Bee next door is, Esther's the owner. And we'll be like, hey, we're going to do a 20% off sale this weekend. Do you want to join us? And she's like, great, perfect, awesome, let's do it. Or we'll share taking an ad out together in a local newspaper. So there's those people. And then there's people that are like really pissed that we carry something similar to what they carry. And it's like, come on.
Even if the taste level's completely different.
Oh, that's shady, girl. I'm just saying that, like, yeah.
I mean, it's true. To me, it's true.
I think that that's disappointing to me because we are such a small community that we could do so much good if we could all come together. And so we try not to worry about them and we stay in our lane and we do our thing and that's that.
Yeah, I think, competition is good because it can be inspiring. If you see someone come up with an idea, I can get inspired by someone, for instance, us doing Utica Coffee. If I was a different store, I'd be inspired by that. Maybe not to carbon copy and do my own coffee collab, but maybe do something different because, who can I collab with in a different way or what can So there's always stuff to see and I have found, and I've been told by other business owners in the past, there will always be people who are so gung-ho about it, but then jealousy rears its ugly head and then they cannot handle it.
Yeah.
So then you don't need to deal with that.
Right.
Deal with the people that do want to be a part of a community and do your best to just do you and support those who want to be a part of that support system.
Yeah. I think a lot of that just comes from the town. Like, the town's small. You're going to see, like, many different people, many different, like, lifestyles and how they view other people.
Yeah.
And just being here and, like, being in such a small community, they get nervous and they get jealous.
Yeah, totally.
It just shows a lot more on, like, them than you guys, and expressing your carefree, like, lifestyle is amazing. Yeah.
And I'm not going to change. And something I heard a lot the first year we were open in various forms is, well, that's not the way things are done here. To which I would put up a mental middle finger because I don't give a crap how it was done here. This is how I do it.
Well, and also if we're not,
you know what I mean?
If we're not evolving, so as people who own land here and a business here and homes here and pay our taxes here, I feel like if we're not evolving as a community, in different ways, and we're just always doing things how it's always been done, we're going to get stuck, right? That's not good for business. That's not going to bring in foot traffic. So, and that's another thing. Our audience, our biggest shoppers come from outside of our town. So that's interesting.
Also, the way it's always been done may not serve everyone now.
Right. Just holding on to that old life, like old way is
and plus,
not always going to work.
I live in abundance. There's enough for everybody. Right? So to me, go carry the exact same thing. Carry the exact same product from the exact same brand. There's enough for everyone. Will I be annoyed by that? Sure. But there's enough for everyone. What are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah. Well, what you do is make your own products.
That's right.
Which is what we've also been trying to do.
Yeah, that's on our vision board is like more of our own products. So we create our own greeting cards. We have the notebook you have, I designed. And that's actually based on we now are almost at 2 years. We have 2 years of data to look at. And when we went back and we broke down everything and looked at all the numbers, our T-shirts that we made sold better than the Marine Layer T-shirts. And what's cool about that, so Marine Layer is a clothing brand we carry. What's cool about that is not only is that pretty awesome because it's something we created, but because we created it, our margin is better, right?
Yeah.
And the retail price is better for the customer. So to me, it's like a win-win-win. Do you have some flash fire questions for us in there? I feel like there's some good.
These ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do some of these questions because we have a couple minutes left, and these are some good questions.
Okay. So on here, well, obviously we touched on what are the reasons for your new label, but what are the different ways that you serve your coffee, and what are some of your preferred ways to drink your coffee? This is more like a Q&A for you guys.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I usually 99.999% of the time want my coffee iced. My signature latte is an oat milk latte with maple syrup.
It's both our signatures.
Yes, it is so good. And again, it's something we discovered in New York when we lived there. So that's how I like my coffee. Iced oat milk. We also make our own oat milk, pistachio milk, and almond milk.
Yes. That is my signature drink too, literally for years and years and years. Lately, I don't know if because I have old age, I'm getting colder more often, or because I'm not moving around as much, running around New York City.
Yeah.
But in the past couple of months, I've been doing it hot because I'm cold. But same thing, maple oat latte.
I'm also obsessed with, we have a pistachio rose latte that we just put on the menu, and it is amazing. So pistachio milk, rose flavoring, and there's like an oat milk. So it's delicious. I
And
can't help it.
sometimes as a treat, I'll do a pistachio frapp. I don't want to say the word frappuccino because it's a Starbucks made up word, but it's a blended coffee pistachio drink that's delicious. We have a pistachio powder here, kind of like cocoa powder, but pistachio flavored. We also have it in vanilla, and so we can make those kind of blended drinks like Starbucks has.
Yes, as somebody who's tried the drink, it's amazing.
Oh, that's
you
right.
Definitely need to go get it. It's wonderful. Okay. Where did the idea of the Cazenovia Lake blend originate?
Well, I think we kind of touched on that. It was just, we knew we wanted coffee, and we thought, why not ask Utica if we can...
They were instrumental in kind of guiding us in that direction.
So we just sort of opened the conversation with them, like, do you ever do, could we possibly do? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I don't know where the idea actually came from. I think it was just like, why not have a...
Yeah, easy peasy, drinkable.
Something I love is marketing and branding, because I grew up with the Spice Girls. And so Spice was everywhere, and I love that about... I mean, I'm a huge Spice Girls fan. Come in on any day of the week, and you might find me in a Spice Girls t-shirt.
Or it playing.
But I thought there was a lot of genius to their marketing and their promotions and their branding. And so that's just something that I've always had an interest in. So I think there's a little bit of that there, right? Like, how can we get a product that's our own? And that just was one of the first.
So talk about like costing and how much you do for pricing. So touching on that, how do you decide like buying in bulk, or do you buy like just singular items? Like how do you decide what to do and what to order based on experience and what shoppers have bought in the past?
You know, I have to say, it's hard to figure that out because there are times, for instance, when we first opened, let's say, for instance, I bought, we had drink mixers. They're called White's Elixirs. And they're drink mixers. They're easy. There's like a cosmopolitan one, a margarita one. And I bought about 5 flavors of them. And in our first week, almost all of them sold out except one flavor, which was the mojito flavor. And I thought, oh, that's weird. I'm not going to order a mojito again. So I went back, and literally only a row of 4 mojitos was left on the shelf. I went back and I ordered all the other flavors again and added a few more. When it was all full again, the mojito was the first one to sell.
It's so random. It's so weird.
So it's not Mojito's fault. It's that for some reason in that moment when everyone was coming, they tend to gravitate towards other flavors, and then when they can see them all, that one seemed appealing. Maybe it was that time of year, felt more mojito-y. I don't know.
You know, I think the biggest challenge we have with placing orders is we oftentimes we order regularly smaller amounts.
Yeah.
That's partly because we want things to be super fresh, whether it's food or even like skincare and makeup. Like, I don't want makeup sitting around for a year and a half and then sell it because there's an expiration date. So that's part of why we do that. Also financially, as a small business that's still new, we can't always afford to place the order we would like to place.
Right.
So we have to budget and pick and choose, and maybe something will have to wait a few weeks because we really need jewelry now. It just depends.
Yeah. We do look at, when we're looking at products that are new to us, okay, what is our cost? Most brands have a minimum. So they'll be like, you have to order X amount of dollars worth, or you have to order X amount of product. So we have to take that into consideration. We also look at what they suggest the retail price be and what our cost is to look at what the margin, is it worth it? Should be, so there's a lot at play, and I don't think there's one answer. It's just, it depends on the product, it depends on the time of year, it depends on our situation. So all that is considered.
Yeah. Let's talk about what are some of the things that you've taken away from just having the business for 2 years now. What are some of the pros that you've taken away? No cons. That have came from just owning the business, whether it's meeting new people, relationships, finding products that you guys are interested in and what you love to use outside of the store. Let's talk about that.
I think the biggest thing that when you first said that to me that came to mind is, and I hope I don't sound like I'm kissing my own ass or blowing smoke up my own skirt, but I feel like I'm just doing me. Right? Like, I'm just living my authentic life. I would do what I'm doing here anywhere. But the social impact it seems to be having in our small community is weird to me. In a good way. Weird, like, I don't know how to take it. But people come in every day and say, thank you for what you're doing for the community. Thank you for what you've brought here. Thank you for being... I think it falls on us being members of the LGBTQ community, Alex being Hispanic, I'm also disabled. So we do think about these social issues, but we don't think of them in a way that it's like, we have to do this. This is just who we are. Yeah. So it's a little weird to me that people are like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for all you're doing, because I don't feel like I'm doing anything extraordinary. Right. So there's that. Also, we've fallen in love with products and our people and making products, and
which we wouldn't have played around with if we didn't have the store.
We were talking about this yesterday in a team meeting. Something that we were really proud of is that we have someone come to the store regularly with his family who was a bully of mine in school and who is more conservative leaning, and they came in and we welcomed them with open arms. And that was a little hard for me to do at first because of the triggering memories, right? Yeah. But now it makes me so proud that when we say everyone is welcome here, it's like that's such a prime example of that. We want to be a place where people feel welcome and warm and accepted, and
their energy is warm.
And we cannot agree on everything, right? Yeah. There's certain things where I have to draw the line and be like, I can't have you coming in here and saying the Holocaust didn't exist. But we can have different views. We can have different beliefs. We can have different faiths, and then that could be okay. Let's have a conversation about it. I'm interested to learn about you, and that's been cool.
And also, one thing I will add, that it's a much broader spiritual answer. But I think before we opened the store, I always had in my mind that the way to succeed in something is to have a very focused, specific point of view on how to get it done. And what this store has taught me, because this store was not a daydream of ours, it just kind of happened and then became a playground for us. There was nothing set in stone. And I feel like that unset in stoneness made us play. And then as we played, ideas landed that then we focused on. And so it kind of taught me to, be more available, open, and flexible, and then act on things when I know they're for me. So I think of that when I think of you, the little video you did for us, and you said undecided.
Yes.
And I love undecided because that means you're open and available to whatever feels right. And when you know, you'll know.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of just, I'm going undecided to college, and this is what I'm here for. It's just learning new stuff, and you guys are helping me so much, and I love it. It's
I'm
amazing.
So glad.
Yes, I just love it.
We love having you here. This was really fun.
Yes.
You guys come on in. Zoe is here random mornings throughout the next month. Introduce yourself. Come and say hi to us. Come try the pistachio rose latte. Also, we want to say that the 4th Wednesday of every month, Bridges from Hamilton is having an LGBTQ social here. So every fourth Wednesday starting in April from 5 to 7, you can come on in, hang out with everybody. And the cool thing is that they're doing is if you sign into the event, they're going to run a bar tab. So you can get cheese boards, you can get your coffee, you can get mocktails, and Bridges is covering it.
Oh, wow.
So come on in, fourth Wednesday of every month from 5 to 7. You can find that information on our Instagram, H. Gray Supply Co. And check out our website, hgraysupplyco.com. Say hi. Give us some questions
Right.
for the podcast here. We love
Yes.
questions or topics to talk about. We appreciate you guys listening. Zoe, we appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. I loved being here.
Yeah, this is fun.
It
We'll
gets
have to
me
do
out.
another.
Yes, we
You
will.
know, this is what we'll leave the audience with. Comment below on topics that you want Zoe to cover with us, or questions for Zoe to ask us.
Or more specifics about what we've talked about today.
Yeah,
Yes.
about being a small business, about H. Gray, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.